It was a very strange last thing to shoot because it was exactly reflective of what was going on with all of us. This bittersweet understanding that this will no longer be happening, but we've shared all of this experience that will never be forgotten. It was weirdly like life imitating art in a way.
Yeah.
You were crying a lot.
I was crying a lot.
I was gonna say, who did it hit the hardest?
She cried for a long time.
I had to cry.
The whole party, she was
I had to cry
crying.
in the scene though too, so I was already crying.
You were crying too.
She was crying the most. She was crying. I think she cried for 2 hours straight.
I think I did.
She had trouble drinking the champagne.
Yeah, I cried a lot.
I was like, amazing. That would have been amazing. She was ready for that.
Let's just break down the whole season, spoilers, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like really one of the last times we're all really
I was thinking the same thing.
and
Man,
it's
this
like
is it.
bittersweet,
Crazy.
you know, because
Yeah.
it was fun working with all
Is there
of
another
you.
People's Choice Awards that we
I
can
know.
Maybe. We still have one more year, maybe.
I know
like,
something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's really amazing because it's been so long since we've shot the show now. Having all of us together as a group, it sort of feels like that same dynamic again. And it's so special, and it really was lightning in a bottle, this show, and how amazing of a time we had together, and our crew and everybody involved in the show was so fantastic, and we really did form a family, so it'll always be special.
It was really beautiful, and I think it was really well written, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And it was very sad because I knew with our breakup I wouldn't be working so much with Alberto. Yeah,
he's just the nicest.
Yeah, and so then Kat and I actually were like, because she had gone through a phase where she worked with Alberto a lot, and then their characters broke up, and then they don't really work together that much anymore. And so she was like, I know what it's like. I got you, girl. So
I was telling Alberto, like, Simon is just killing it with the breakup game.
I mean, really, like,
we'll stay friends. I'm a great guy. It's just
Shadowhunters girls like the nice guy, I think.
Much love, homies.
Much
We're gonna
love.
watch the end of Dirty Dancing right now.
Yeah, on Freeform.
The throw and catch on Freeform.
Finish.
So I play Isabel Lightwood, and basically she's a strong character, she's a strong female, she's a badass in heels, she can fight demons in heels. Yeah, I know, right? So I love that these two characters are strong, powerful women, you know, and I love that ABC Family Freeform does that with their female characters because I think we need that more, you know, having powerful women out there on TV.
It actually was a really nice moment because completely by accident everyone ended up together, and we had guest stars that had come in season 1 and most of the core crew and all of the cast, and my dad was actually there as well, which was really sweet. And then we all, you know, had a bunch of champagne and stuff on set, and it was great. It was really nice.
But there's a scene and I'm holding Dom's hand and I'm looking at him, and I have to, you actually see the shot in the trailer, it's the one where I'm walking away crying. That was the last shot I ever shot of the show.
Oh wow.
And so I'm looking at Dom, and behind him is everybody. There's Matt and Harry and Emerald and Alberto and a ton of other characters, and I'm looking at everybody and looking at our family, and I have to turn and walk away from it. And that was the last shot I ever did of the show, and that, it was so indicative and so representative of everything the journey.
It was great to have Kat and Dom there. Dom was holding my arms between takes, and Kat was giving me tea.
Don't worry, I won't bite.
And also scratching my nose because I had an itch that was impossible to scratch. So it was great to have friends on set to do those scenes.
Harry?
We kind of put our shoulder under his arm to support it as much as we could, because that gets tiring.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And I think that Luke must have, at least, you know, he's shaking against those bonds and everything. He's got to really have been hurting there.
It's dedication to the
It's
craft.
the dedication, and we appreciate that. Luke Baines, we appreciate
I think we've all grown up.
I'm gonna hear.
A little bit.
This is like a magic wand. I'm gonna make you look big.
We're going to do it again, ready?
Ready? Oh.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I think you look so different!
So great.
Oh my god, amazing.
And I saw a little hint of him like, I kind of like this.
I had good fun doing it. Dancing's fun, and I think it came out all right.
I think it's gonna be really beautiful, and I think it turned out great.
It's really hard because I'm in contact with all of them, but probably Kat. Yeah.
I see you all over her Instagram, so I feel like I knew the answer to that question.
Yeah, no, she's such a great human, and I think in this business it's so rare to find people that you connect with. So, yeah, I think think we have an unspoken twinning rune, and I don't think, even if one of us wanted to get away from another, it's not going to happen.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be timed right. Ready? There it is. Up, down. Even higher. Close. You got to do it. You got to be faster than this. Come on. Rip her dress. You know what? Oh!
Don't go back. Trust fall. So funny. Like you said, trust fall.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Okay, guys, here we go.
Oh. Wait, we got it. This is working.
Yay! Trust.
Yeah.
We have trust. A lot of it.
Wait, now how does someone get up?
Me.
Oh.
One person. Okay, oh gosh.
If it has Shadowhunters in it, is a very positive future.
Yeah, it really was such a wonderful, beautiful experience, and I will always look back on it.
My last scene, funnily enough, was shot with Alberto. Aww. And so it was a great way to kind of button it, and I think it's kind of what you would hope for her based on the journey she's been through. And it's nice to have Alberto be a part of that.
Yeah.
Then also, like, one of the best things is, like you said, reliving like when we go back and we shoot, like, let's say episode 17, I'm like, I forgot what the show is about, but oh my gosh, that day, because of what I'm wearing, I remember this funny story, or this person that I had like an awesome, meaningful conversation with that I had worked with for 2 years that we hadn't. That's what's coming back. You saying, like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen with that last bit. Something that I hadn't thought about that a bunch of people kind of go through when they watch something. We have a group of people to share.
Heating. Thank you, Emerald. What like, oh look, it looks so pretty. Like all your hearts are right next to your face. But I get the comments, so I'm better. And Em knows that I talk with my hands, so she's helping out. I'm trying to hug you, but I can't from this angle. Okay, I'm just gonna hug your head. Yeah, we'll hug our head. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I'm fine, by the way. Yeah, you'll be okay. Oh, good. You're a Shadowhunter.
I hope that the legacy of the show is one of unity and acceptance and light and fun, because there are these people who have problems or you know, like low falls, or they have these issues. Like from Jace's point of view, he has his family issues and he's never really found a place in the world, and that leads to anger and, you know, sort of isolation where he doesn't really let people in the way he should let people in, and this, that and the other. And I think what I would like the legacy to be is that if you see that, let's, instead of turning your back to it, maybe encompass it and find out what's wrong with that person, and maybe there's a way of fixing it, and maybe, you know, smiling at someone instead of frowning at them that day is going to make that person's day, and paying it forward to the next person and the next person. And maybe that's going to change someone's day. And maybe it won't, but it you know, takes no effort at all to smile at someone instead of being angry at them.
If you could sit on this bench with any Shadowhunters character, who would it be?
I would sit on this bench with Alec and have a good conversation.
I get to play this character who is a role model to so many girls, and every single one of these characters. That's what is so great about this show, is that there's someone for everyone, and everyone can, you know, every audience member can find a bit of themselves in this story, and can find someone to relate to, or look up to, or to aspire to, or to commiserate with, depending on the situation. You know, and even though it's not necessarily paralleled, it's given that we're a supernatural show. At least I hope people aren't dealing with some of the issues that these characters deal with. It's, you know, it's a real gift, and it's a real treasure to see the smiles on everyone's faces.
it's been more than just a show for everyone. It's an escape, and it's something that is representative of different people, their sexuality, where they're from, and I hope it's a reminder of the fact that we're all human at the end of the day, even us part demons, and we have more in common than we have apart.
I just regret not being able to work with certain people. I never got to work with them. Like we had like a couple scenes together, like at the end of season 2, and like
That's
I
it,
just
like
yeah,
two
that was it.
seasons.
I know. I was like, oh, like,
And they cut one of them, I think.
I've seen.
Hey, look who it is!
Guess who Superman is?
Guess who Superman is? Yes.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Dom Sherwood! What's up?
Ah! Wait, it's calling my name. It's calling my
We
name.
were just telling them, remember when all of this happened?
And then Alberto...
It's on the books though. Ha! Alright, bye guys.
Bye. Thanks for coming. So, yeah, I love you guys so much. I haven't been... well, she smashed that doll.
So like, the show is all about a group of people put in extraordinary circumstances that have to learn to move forward and grow and love each other and just continue moving throughout this world. What they realize is that although they're all from different worlds, different species, when they work together and they use love as their main thing that drives them, it makes them an incredibly unstoppable force. I think that's a pretty good legacy to leave behind, that working together with people, using love as this binding, connective thing through compassion and looking what can be best for everyone. That's a solid message that I think the world needs, that I think this show gives, and it's so evident in our fandom and our interactions with them that we kind of succeeded in putting that message out there.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you. No, it's true though. It's been quite an experience, and you hope for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite a roller coaster. It's been really cool.
That's right.
I didn't realize how much of a parallel Clary's journey and my own journey in making the show had been. Someone who was kind of very young and thrown into this world with a lot of responsibility and having to create a family and learn something from all of the people that were a part of that team. And that's one reason the show will be so special to me, because it is such kind of a compartmentalized, truncated area of my life that taught me so much and kind of transformed me in so many ways. And I have these guys to thank for that.
The last scene was with Kat too. We ended it, because I remember saying this, we ended it how we started it, minus the vomiting. But we were both, it was hilarious, we were both doing blocking and just couldn't stop crying. Because Kat was like, I don't want to not work with you. I was like, yeah, but we're friends. We're gonna see each other. It's gonna be fine. And then, so she started crying, then I started crying. And then the camera went up and neither of us could get through it without crying. It was hilarious because Todd Slavkin, who is the showrunner, who also directed that episode, kept coming up to us and being like, guys, can you stop crying? Like, doesn't work.
Not appropriate for the scene.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the first and last.
I could have a million answers to that question. For me, I think what the legacy of the show should be, and what it always will be, thanks to everyone who was a part of making the show, as well as the fandom, is a show about love and about acceptance and about what it means to find who you are and find your place in the world. Something that's kind of a theme from the books that we really carried through in the show that I think is so beautiful is that, you know, we have all these different creatures and everything in the show, everyone has either angel blood or demon blood or some combination thereof or something in between, or a dark past or something that is a question mark as to their character. And what the show teaches us and teaches all of us is that no matter who you are, no matter what you're made of, no matter what blood runs through your veins, no matter what's happened in your past, you can be a hero. And you can be a catalyst for good, and you can make the choices that can cause positivity to follow you. And so, you know, anyone can be a hero. It's not about what you're made of, it's about the choices you make.
Well, the present feeling I get when I think about the show is inclusivity and positivity and community. And I think that if you come across the show years from now and you binge it wherever you do, that you find those elements within the show, and then you go on social media, which is a huge part of what kept the show alive, and you find a community of people who have similar interests and feelings about the world and have interesting discussions about things. And I think like that's the most unique thing about this show, is the sense of community and inclusivity, and that no matter what kind of person you are, there's like a place for you in this world. And I really like that, and I'm glad to be a part of a show that supports that.
Yeah, you guys are so cute, just smiling
We're
so much,
funny,
watching
we're
each
sentimental.
other.
I mean, we're really just the whole package.
We're just so
We have a full cast for you. Stop casting whatever you're casting right now, LA. We're all here.
I love it.
Wait, is it pilot season right now?
Oh my God.
I mean, we're already very well packaged. Let's just, it's good. It's in
Yeah,
box
we're not telling you. We're actually sending this out. Afterwards. You guys are making
This is actually a casting.
And it's, it sort of parallels our lives too, which is, it's been a very bittersweet and really a lovely experience.
It's bittersweet to think about. It's been a really cool journey, and to think about it all coming to an end. I'm actually really thankful we got 2 more episodes to really do that, because if not, it would have been a cliffhanger and you guys would have hated it. But I'm glad we got to really give the story the ending I think it deserves, and give the fans the ending they deserve.
That is
Just
really
like
impressive.
her. She came in knowing nothing. Now you're like a
I'm not
a
gonna lie,
boxer.
when I first saw her kick, I was like, ooh, I don't know, this is gonna be a long couple of years. And then the growth happened, I was like, oh my
put the
gosh,
work
she improved
in,
so
man.
much. So yeah, she's a hard worker.
Guys, you're gonna make me cry now.
Oh my God, I didn't expect the ending to be the way it's ending, and it's just, it's bittersweet. It's, reading it, I was like, I was crying, and I even feel like crying now. It's like a mix of emotions.
What's the funniest thing that happened while on set? Somebody
Other
wants
than
to know.
laughing at Dom?
Other than all of us laughing at each other.
Laughing with Dom.
With Dom, dear.
Yeah, whatever.
These fans are so wonderful and so engaged. They know so much about my life, but in a really nice way. And it hasn't really settled like something.
Inclusivity.
Yeah, I think ultimately the show will be remembered by what the fandom has become. The fandom, the Shadow Fam has created this beautiful community that is a place where everyone can feel loved and accepted and seen for who they are, and find kindred spirits within that. And I think that's kind of what all of our characters did on the show. They found a family with each other, and that's what I hope at least the show carries with it.
To Alex.
Oh,
You talking to you?
that would be a good idea.
Oh, that'd be
if someone
so
did
cool.
that. That would be kind of neat.
Hint, hint, somebody do it. All right, how about over here? Who would you guys?
I would choose Isabel. I think it would be a nice way to say goodbye.
Yeah, at the end,
And
right?
thank you for everything, she's shown me. And yeah, I guess the last goodbye with Isabel.
That's so sweet. I was gonna say Magnus Bane, but now I would almost say Clary.
Hey. Hey.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was on the show once, and I said something like, I think I said 2B, and it was when we just did 2A, and everyone's like, ooh. And I think I saw Matt's face like, oh my gosh, you just screwed up. So anyway.